so excited to be here and support you with this. I'm really passionate about social media and the difference that it can make for your organization, for your business, for your personal life as well. And I'm the social media co-chair for the board of Women Impacting Public Policy. I'm really excited about it. Please come in and go ahead and have a seat. There's a few extra seats around here. You know, part of what I love about social media is it's really kind of like an automatic leadership tool that you can use. And society is really rewarding people who are willing to participate. So has anybody ever ordered a book on Amazon.com? Have you read the book reviews that they have, right? That's really helpful because then you can get an idea if the book's going to work for you or not. What about Yelp? Do you check out cool new restaurants or maybe a hotel that you might not want to stay in? You know, it's important to get that information. That insight is really useful. And when you're online and you're reading some cool news articles and stuff, whatever you dig increases the ratings of that article, so more people are likely to pay attention to it. So that social media leadership is really kind of automatically embedded in the whole concept of social media. Well, thanks to social media, it makes your leadership much more visible. It's easy to see who's really stepping up and who's sharing their ideas and their information. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. It also is much more valuable because millions and millions of people are on social media. So it's a whole lot easier for you to connect with people than ever before and really make a big difference to your community. It's also much more viable. The social media tools are easy to use. It's easy to access. So it's a whole lot easier for you to be a leader in today's environment. Okay, now, and the thing that a lot of people don't realize, they're shocked to discover, you're already a pretty impressive leadership person. Because you may not, have you ever heard of 6 Degrees of Separation, that whole thing with Kevin Bacon? I always forget his name. Well, it really is true. Scientifically, they've proven that you are only 6 people away from anybody on the planet. 6 people away. You want to meet somebody? 6 people between you and that other person. Well, the folks who wrote this book, Connected, fabulous book, they came up with another really cool rule, which is the 3 degrees of influence rule. And a lot of people don't know this because it's so built in. We don't really know how it works. We just know it is reality. You have influence, not just over your friends, but your friends' friends' friends. So when you're a leader, they're more likely to be a leader. If you're a smoker, they're more likely to be a smoker. Whatever you do, think, say, or feel ripples through your network. This is before you start doing social media, by the way. You're only influencing 27,090,300 people without trying. Bummer! Bummer! And you thought you didn't have any clout. Well, welcome to the new world. There's actually a ton of people who are rooting for you. You may not have really thought about it, because so often people get trapped in that lack mentality, that the world's against you and nobody's on your side. I got news for you. 90% of people have a vested interest in your success. I'm going to prove it to you. If you're talking about your members, well, they're looking for a fun, dynamic environment where they can connect with really cool people, collaborate, learn, and grow. They need you to be successful. They need you to have an interesting environment so they can experience those things. Your clients, your sponsors, they want you to be successful. You're solving a critical problem that they have. And the better you are at solving their problems, the better they like it. They really want you to be good at that. Your employees want you to be successful. The better you're doing in your business, the more opportunities you open up for them, the more career paths they have. They'd love to be able to say they work for a really hot company. You know, who doesn't want to say they work for Google or something like that? It's cool. Your competitors want you to be successful. A lot of people don't get this, but it's so true. Have you ever heard the expression, a rising tide lifts all boats? Well, no 2 companies, no 2 people express themselves in the same way. Your competitors are looking at you for identifying the sweet spot, the opportunity. That the opportunity exists means there's room for more people to succeed and grow. They want you to be successful. Your community wants you to be successful. They want to, you know, it's so easy to see what's not working, right? We can all tell pretty easily what's not working. Wouldn't they love to be able to say, look, this is working, this is awesome, and they are in our community. Check it out. We're better because they're doing so great. And it's the same with the government. The better your business is doing, the more opportunities the government has to try to serve the community. You may not have thought about it that way, but it really is true. So, you know, when you're looking at this, The easiest way to activate 90% of the population to support you, lead them. Lead them. Next slide. One more rule, I promise. This is the 10-80-10 rule. Very interesting book, The Survivor's Club. And it turns out that 90% of people need you to lead. There was a survival study done by expert John Leach that indicates that 10% of people, when the stuff hits the fan, they know what to do. They're calm, cool, collected. They're just going to move forward and take action. 10%, I'm on it. 80% of people aren't really sure, but they know there's somebody who is sure. And so they're going to try and figure out who the leader is so they can follow the leader. If you have ever been at a fancy dinner party and there were way more forks and knives and spoons and God knows what all, and you waited for somebody else to pick something up, you were following. There's nothing wrong with following. Following is smart. It's a very smart strategy. You can't know everything. Now, the final 10% are so overwhelmed and so freaked out that they're panicking. They're so emotionally overwhelmed, they've forgotten that there are 90% of people waiting to help you. They're more than happy to help you be successful. So that's one of the things that I love about social media, and so many people are just amazed that social media has taken off the way it has. It's no surprise to me. 90% of people are trying to find you. They need your help, and it's time for you to show up. We're going to be talking about leadership through technology, and there's 4 different components. As Barbara said, I'm covering off on social media. You're also going to hear about wireless. You're going to hear about the old-fashioned traditional telephone, but it's so vital. We use it every day, all day long. And you're also going to hear about some really cool software and apps that you can take advantage of. Now, when you think about social media, the whole goal of social media is for you to create a footprint. Do you remember that game Twister? Anybody remember Twister? You had to spin the dial, and then you put your right hand on the red dot, and you put your left foot on the green dot, and you're just trying to hog the board and shove everybody else off. Well, it's the same kind of concept with social media, but you're not trying to displace anybody. You're just trying to be found. You want to make it easy for people to locate you. That's the whole point of social media. Now, some people are really reluctant to be leaders. And the reason for that is because they're thinking about it as the old way, which was all about celebrity. It was all about you and how important you as an individual are. And it was all about what you wear, where you go, who you know, what you buy. I mean, how boring is that? Celebrity, the problem with celebrity as leadership is it just doesn't last. It's pretty fleeting. You know, the latest quarterback blows out his knee, he's gone. You know, maybe he's got a car dealership somewhere, but, you know, I'm sorry. It's just, you know, it's not sustainable. It's not lasting. What I love is the new form of leadership. One more, please. Where instead of celebrity, it's all about service. It's not so much about you, it's through you. It's why you think what you think. Why you discovered something. Why you're following somebody. Why you like something. This is an old slide because those are all supposed to be whys, but that's okay. It's why you do something the way you're doing it. Now, why is super important. And it is the indicator that you're a leader when you're focused on why. Why tells us 3 things about you. Why illustrates your values. I'm talking about this because I'm all about the green stuff, and I really think that clean water is a right that everybody needs, right? It illustrates your values. And what I love about having it be clear what your values are is that you're qualifying your audience. The people who share your values will show up. They can find you because of your values. The second thing it tells us is your vision. It tells us the vision that you have for what's possible for your community, and that you are a collaborator with other people, and they want to be a part of your community because you have this vision of what they could experience because of their engagement with you. And thirdly, it tells us your purpose. It tells us whether you're authentic and transparent and real, or whether you're just in it for a buck. We can tell like that. So your why is vital. Your why is what you focus on as a leader in today's environment. Now, we're going to move on and talk about the 5 things that you actually do. The why is how you think, okay? Now I'm going to have you apply the why with the 5 social behaviors. The first social behavior is to connect. Okay? You can connect with an individual, you can connect with a company, you can connect with a brand. Now it's really cool with social media, connecting is valuable to you because the more connected you are, the more visible you are, the more people can find you. And you want to make sure that you are focused on the why here. You want to let people know why you want to connect with them, what you have in common, because that's what makes you relevant. And there's a real advantage to other people in connecting with you, because there may be an opportunity for you to help them in some way. In fact, you're going to use the 5 social behaviors to help them. So they want to connect with you, and you want to connect with them. Connecting creates a win-win. Let's move on to the second behavior. The second behavior is to comment. Now, I hate reading an article and seeing some comment that says, wow, great post. You know, it's nice to get the validation, okay, but how much value does that really add? It doesn't add any value. If you want to create a lot of value when you make a comment, explain why. Explain why it was a valuable article. Maybe there was another tool that you came across and the kind of experience that you had with that tool. Well, you create a lot more value when you add the why. In fact, when I read articles, I always try to read the comments, and I get just as much out of the comments as I do out of the article. It's really powerful. Now, when you make a comment, what happens is most people like me, we cruise through all those comments, and we make note of the people who make really good comments. So it's a great platform for you to get access to any audience on the planet. You can talk and make a comment on anybody's blog or post. And there you come up, high profile, especially with valuable information. Now, the person who has the blog benefits too, because they're trying to serve an audience. They're trying to make a difference. They're trying to really add value. And when you're compounding the value they already created, it's a win for both parties. It's a win-win when you comment. Interesting how that works. Next one, please. The third social behavior is to share. And the reason you want to share is because leaders know that leading is all about caring and serving. That's really why you lead, is because you care about other people and you want to help them identify interesting information. You're going to see how Be Local does a really good job with the sharing side. And I forgot to mention, connect. The reason why we talk about connecting, you're going to hear about California Lifeline and how they really reinforce the connecting. With commenting, you're going to see how Wireless Ed gives you some great information that you can comment about, okay? We're giving you tools that you can apply these 5 behaviors with. With sharing, the Be Local and SnapFresh, great information that you can share, okay? It's really helpful. Sharing creates a win-win because, again, you're explaining why you're sharing something and the value that it creates for your audience. Obviously, the person that you're sharing the information, that's the holy grail of social media. You get something shared. It's really valuable to them if you're willing to share something. Okay, let's look at the 4th social behavior, which is to endorse. Now, when it comes to endorsing, you really need to do it from a state of integrity. It should be something that you've got personal experience with, like you really read the book, not just the cliff notes, not just the back. You know, I really highly recommend that you do endorsements because when you're focused on the why you attended this event and what you got out of it, what the value was to you, it creates a lot more value for your audience, and it also gives them an opportunity to showcase you. So I'm going to ask you guys, and I'd love a chance to have a quick conversation with you after this event, because I'm going to ask you 2 questions. First, I'm going to ask you, what is the biggest aha that you got from attending today? Now that gives you incredible value. You may not know this, but you should do this after every phone conversation, after every meeting, after every book you read. Stop and ask yourself, okay, what's the big thing that I got out of this? If I just had one takeaway, what would be that one takeaway? And write it down. You'll have a 30% increase in your results just by stopping, asking yourself that question, and writing it down. 30% increase in your results. That's simple. What did I get out of this? The second question I'm going to ask you is, what would it take to make this a 10 experience for you? What would it take to make this so compelling, so fun, so engaging, so meaningful, so useful, that you just can't wait to tell the world about it? Because that's the vision we have for you, and that's the standard that we hold ourselves to. So by getting that kind of feedback from you, we really benefit because we can review what we're doing and refine it to add more value. Okay, the last social behavior is to act. Your actions speak a lot louder than your words, and you only take action because you think you're going to benefit when you take the action. okay? It doesn't matter if we're talking about a bowl of ice cream or we're talking about opting in for more social media information. Whatever action you take is because you expect to get a benefit from it. So again, whenever you take an action, explain, go behind the curtains, open up the kimono, tell us why you took that action that you took. Because people want to understand the why of where you're coming from. Leaders are very proactive. They take action all the time. And when you take action, you win because you got something you want. And the person who facilitated that action wins because they get insight into what's important to you and what you value. And they can make it even better for you. So these are the 5. Let's just recap them really quickly. You're going to want to use your why and always come at it from a why perspective. And then you're going to want to connect, comment, share, endorse, and buy. Sorry, not buy, act. Act. Okay. It's one of the actions you can take, but in this case, it's not. All right. So there are 3 things that I really want you to take away from what I've just said to you today. The first one is just how powerful a leader you already are. I'm sorry, but 27,090,300 people is nothing to sneeze at, okay? And you didn't even try very hard. But adding social media can make your voice so much more powerful. And 90% of people are looking for you anyway. They really need you to lead. They want to understand how you see the world. They want to view it through your eyes. So sharing your why is incredibly powerful. And I hope you understand how the 5 social behaviors can really help you establish that leadership platform.